Just on bans.
Okay,
So
let's
Cat's
see.
Volley, Braum.
We were setting up a best of jungle pick, and so this was like Raf, our jungler's preference in terms of bans. I think he was also.
Okay.
We knew this guy was capable of playing Xin Zhao, but Volibear was a little bit more comfort for our enemy jungler. Our
Okay.
support is a lot better as engaged champions. So generally,
Okay.
we were just like setting up Braum as like to leave that option open. And then Cassio, I think he was just a Cassio OTP, or Cassio was one of his big picks. Maybe kind of annoying into like our Talia, into our Rise, that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but
So we pivoted to Karma after we saw them pick Zaya, basically, because we knew we can't play Engage on that.
yeah, that was
Okay, that makes sense. That's what I was curious about. Okay. Anyway, other than that, I think that's chill. So we can go and just like hop into the game.
Okay, sweet.
I do have some notes for this first game, a few timestamps. If I can send them to you, Gare, or I can just throw them in general if you want.
Yeah, I don't know if Havoc has access to those. If you want to shoot them to Havoc, that'd probably be best, at least for now.
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, why? What were you thinking?
You could also put it in the schedule chat, just
Okay.
for now at least, because I do have access to that one.
Okay.
Okay.
And I didn't finish. It's not definitely not all the timestamps. Like I didn't finish before the patch changed.
Sure.
I gotcha.
But it was just what I'd done.
Nice, goated.
Can you explain grasp and turn neck poke useless?
I went Comet.
It's
as
a
Horn.
Oh, I didn't realize.
I think it's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I generally agree with that. I think the grass tree is just better. Into Renekton, you can like trade quite a bit. I don't think you necessarily have to play like Gerd. And I think that like I don't think that sorcery tree is bad for Ornn, like into like range matchups especially. Like you can go like Airy or whatever. And I think it's actually like can be pretty decent. But yeah, I think definitely into Renekton, I would recommend going grass with Resolve Tree, because you can get more value out of the 3 minor runes in the Resolve Tree than you can out of the 3 minor runes in Sorcery.
Okay.
Why did you go Comet?
I have more comfort on Comet, and then like this reason is not even that good, but the secondary reason that isn't great is just like I looked at Ornn versus Renekton on low lytics, and Comet had like 62% win rate versus like a 51% win rate on Grasp.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's fair.
What were you saying?
I was just saying some of these are like really minor too. Like
Sure.
like the 230 thing for child. Like I just started watching people's laning phases, and so there's like a couple minor notes at the beginning of laning phase, but yeah. So the early notes are very minor, and I didn't edit it, but
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
I think like I don't know. It's not like enormously troll, but yeah, I mean, whenever you play Renekton in comp, especially against tanks, you do usually go like D-shield. So it is a little bit harder to like go poke because he has built-in sustain. And you're realistically not going to be able to poke him down enough to like get a solo kill usually, unless they are just like playing bad. I think that the discrepancy in win rate that you see is probably because that's coming from like Ornn TPs that know how to like play around it really well, and also Renekton's not really like being used to it, so probably disrespecting like the Qs that they're tanking that they could normally tank, but then are getting hit by like Scorch and Comet and stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway, that's pretty minor, so we can keep going.
Okay. We're just trading wards. Bot lane got bush control, which is nice.
Bot Smurfs this early matchup.
Hey, what'd you say?
I said bot Smurfs this early matchup, like
Oh yeah.
wins like all his keys.
So I think our game plan was we were like asking bot if they could get pressure, and like bot said yeah if we played really well. And so Best was able to path towards bot. My job was like, if I can use Comet to get us a double crab, I'll look for it. But for the most part, yeah, use bot pressure to like set up a good timer for Mbessa.
Yeah. I think that was just a good look from Zen, honestly.
Word.
I wonder, like, I wish Jungler was in here, but I guess it kind of depends. Mid, in this matchup, like level 1, do you have Cryo at all? Or no?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, Katarina's really useless level 1.
That's what I thought. I wonder if Mbessa just stays and like takes like level
the-
1 after
initial
you guys like almost killed him. Like he's less than half HP.
I
Like
think I did.
I don't know if he should be able to like stay there, honestly. Like, because if Katarina, like we don't have to go like too deep into it, obviously because Jones aren't here, but like he doesn't have to go to red necessarily, because at that point he is very far into their jungle and could get pincered on faster from Katarina and Renekton, even if you guys start walking at the exact same time, just because obviously of where it's situated. But he, I think, could have taken Raptors and then continued into his blue and then down, at least. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember if. Do you remember the comments that I'm pretty sure I remember calling for Raptors and Ref saying no.
I can pull it up. I can pull it
don't
up.
remember.
Taking me a couple seconds.
So I think like
and the backline's gone.
if he does go Raptors there, I mean, realistically, Renekton's probably not going to move, because with like the wave timers and stuff now, like I think it's just so troll for top to leave at level 1, because they lose like the whole minion wave if they do, basically. But I think if it ever becomes like Xin wants to fight it for some reason, and then it's Xin and a level 1 Katarina against Mbessa and Azir, I think that you guys just super hard win that with Zen's current HP.
Yeah. Okay. We're recording. I'm recording this as well, so you can basically say whatever you want, and then these guys will have a good chance to just look it over on their time.
Like we're giving first 2 drives and clearing opposite. When that
Are
happens.
you able to look for that Raptors?
Yeah. How's our level 1? Can we watch it here?
I can see. I can generally like turn this very weak level 1. I can like that.
Nice.
Locked the hell down. That's really good, guys. My word.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay.
We don't
Good.
know
Really good,
the
really good.
Do we want to? Do you want to think about his Raptors ref? Like,
No. I think
Okay.
it messes up my
Alright.
tempo pretty
Fair.
badly.
That's good.
that's fine.
Okay.
That's a great. That's a great poke. We get it.
Yeah. As said.
I mean,
Garrett-
so the reason why I say it is because realistically, what we did there doesn't do anything except for it gave us a ward. But that doesn't really matter because whenever we walk in at that timer and we see him there, we know that he's starting topside anyway. So we know when he's going to be done with his topside because it's going to be basically the same as Mbessa's. So getting the ward is all fine and good, but realistically, it doesn't give us like a ton of an advantage to trade with him there and then get the ward, and then we're just trading a ward, and then that's kind of the end of it. Because by the time Zen gets to his like bot side camps, like with Mbessa, he's going to be the same health or healthier than Mbessa because he has the built-in sustain that Mbessa doesn't, and with how much you heal off jungle camps. So the poke doesn't do anything, but we can definitely use that trade that we got on him to invade, because I know that Ref was saying like for like tempo, which yes, like I think that that's a fair point, but I think also taking a camp away from him for free when he's probably not really going to be able to do much about it, because if he does just do Raptors Krugs, by the time he like walks down and tries to go for your Raptors, you guys can probably collapse on it. And if he doesn't go for the Raptors at all, then Raph is going to just be up a camp, because Mbessa can clear fast enough. I mean, all junglers really, like all junglers can clear before like Scuttle spawns, and even I think taking the Raptors there, I think that he can still finish before the Scuttle spawns. So like, I don't think you guys can ever look for like a double Scuttle, but I don't think that matters. Like, that's not that big of a deal, because that's never going to be a guarantee anyway. So I think that it just didn't really do much, and it's okay if it doesn't do much, but I think that it can be an advantage that you guys can gain. And I don't think that there's a great argument to not do it. I mean, obviously I'm not a jungler, so maybe a better jungler than me can like say whether or not it was a bad idea, but Zen can just never do anything there, and I think that Mbessa can clear fast enough that he won't be able to like punish it back. So it's just like a +1 for you guys that can't really be punished.
Okay. Just like we missed an opportunity here to like pressure Xin Zhao early. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, like Zen wants to do what he did, right? Like he cleared 3 camps, and then he is strong at level 3, and then he ganked mid.
Right.
And I don't think that he can do that if he wasn't level 3 on the timer that he was, and he wouldn't be level 3 on the timer he was if we had taken those Raptors from him.
Yeah.
But even if he like looks for the gank or not, I mean, realistically, like competitive League of Legends, like the biggest way that you can win is by taking like guaranteed advantages and guaranteed gold. So if you're taking resources that they can't trade something for, then you're up. Like if they can trade something for it, then it's even. But if you're just going even when you gain an advantage, then I feel like you're losing out, because then the advantage that you had doesn't like translate into anything. And if you can't translate your advantage into anything, then I don't know, like you're just gonna lose.
True. Okay. Let me write that down.
Like the whole point is to create an advantage and then use that advantage to gain something. Whether that is like an objective or a camp or a kill or whatever. But if you're not using your advantage to gain something, then you're just trading back and forth, and then that's where it becomes like a coin flip of hand stiff, where if they're just better than you, then they're going to beat you because they are mechanically better. But if you are gaining gold that they can't like trade something else for and then also gain gold, then you're going to have an advantage on them, and then it's no longer just a like coin flip 50-50. where you have to play better than them, you can just slap them with Wall of Death.
Okay. So here, bot is telling him he needs to invade, and so he scripts Krugs. Of course, like,
Yeah.
obviously we don't really get too much out of it.
Yeah.
We play for that. Yeah.
I think I think the invade would have needed to come after he finished Raptors, not after he finished Red.
Okay.
Because like we just saw Zen gank mid and then go back into his blue. If we have the advantage, like right now, in bot to where we can move first, then we can invade him on his blue buff. But if he skips wolves and then goes immediately to blue, then he's going to finish blue around the same time or slower, or like just slightly slower than if Mbessa finishes red and then goes over. But if he does wolves and then to blue, then what's going to happen is what happened, where Mbessa finished red first and then walked over, so that he's finishing blue as Mbessa walked in. So it was just like slow. I think that by the time we called for the invade, I think that the timer was gone because Mbessa wasn't there like fast enough. And at that point, it doesn't make sense to invade because then he just wasted so much time where he's walking up, doesn't get anything about it for it, and then walks back. He can't go walk to his Krugs now because if he walks to his Krugs, then it's going to take him so long to go to Krugs and then go back to Scuttle. So he takes Scuttle and then he tries to go to top, but by the time he gets to top, Zen's already taking the Scuttle. So Zen is getting like tempo on him because he's wasting like so much time.
Yeah. My bad. I think I missed it. So the sequence that you thought would have been ideal would be like he goes wolves
Like
into
we
bot
see
side?
Zen gank mid and then leave right as basically Mbessa is finishing wolves or Raptor, sorry. So as soon as we see that, we have the advantage in bot, it looks like. And then I think we can get off red and then go. But I think finishing red and then going is taking too long, unless because he doesn't use smite on red, does he? Or did he? Can you fast forward
He
just a
has
little
one.
bit?
He has one. He doesn't.
Yeah,
use
he
it yet.
didn't. So he doesn't use smite on red, which means he isn't killing it fast, and then he goes over to Krugs. I don't know when bot called for the invade, but if they haven't already called it right now and we haven't already moved to it, it's too late.
Okay.
Because if you hover their vision now, like we just finished red, if bot is calling for the invade right now, Zen's already getting on his blue, and Zen has smite, so there's so much space that Mbessa needs to like move through in order to get to Zen's blue, and we're just not going to get there in time. And even if Karma is there first, Nami can move at the same time because only the ADCs need to be in the lane. And then if it's just Nami and Karma, they can't do anything anyway, and then Mbessa's just too late. So I think that the invade needed to be either like he smites red and then walks through has like the top side of Dragon Pit and then into the blue. But because he finishes red without smiting and he walks around to where the Krugs are and then walks around through the Tri-Brush and bot and then river and then Tri-Brush and then over, like that's just like an insane amount of space to cover that he's never going to get there in time.
Okay. Sounds good. Here's the bot crab play, and then we told Raph that you can play for topside because I said I have an item advantage here on top.
I see.
And then maybe I might have called it off. Not sure, just because like my wave is obviously not that great of a spot.
Mm-hmm.
He gets invaded.
I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not like super bad
Okay.
currently.
Bot was super active in their comms here because they were just talking about how like, hey, we've got double long blade into D blade. She hasn't backed yet, so let's play for like a bot sum or let's get something done here. I'm not sure if she ends up staying after this wave or not. No, she ends up basing. That's maybe a different game that I'm thinking about.
Pause real quick. For top right now,
Yeah.
I think that what you could have done is instead of letting him hit wave and like shove into you, before he's level 6, like not on this wave, on the wave before, I think, you can trade with him more heavily, I think, because I don't think that he can ever kill you here because of your item advantage currently. So try to trade with him while hitting the wave because you have like your QWE. And then you can back and then TP.
Okay.
And then he's really homeless, I think. But when he is able to do what he does, and he plays it well because of what he was able to do, he's able to like push this wave into you, and then I think he pushes the next one, which is what he gets 6 on, and then he just like ignores you in proxies and then leaves.
Yeah.
That is really, really good for him because he's already used his TP and you haven't. So now your TP is like mega useless because you aren't able to use it for any sort of advantage. You're just using it to like either get back to lane now for kind of nothing, or by the time you do get to use your TP, his is going to be like up soon after that. But if you're able to like trade with him and then use your TP to come back before he's able to crash anything, then you're going to come back with a health advantage, you're going to come back with an item advantage, and then he's not going to be able to do anything because you just literally will just stat check him. And that is where you're able to hold freezes or like dictate your lane wave state, and then either force him to take a proxy without killing the initial wave first, which means he's going to be losing minions, or just be in a shit position. But if you're able to come back with an item advantage and health advantage, and you have flash, and like you'll get 6 off the next wave or whatever, like there's no world where he can ever kill you, and every world where you can dictate like the wave state from there. So that's just like one thing to be mindful of whenever you have the TP advantage. Use your health as a resource first, and then leave, and then TP back, and then he can't do anything because he was forced to use TP first. Anytime you can make them use TP first, you can always use your health bar as a resource and then TP back for a 1 lane.
Got it. Okay. And then we both have no TPs, and then his HP is a lot lower than mine, and I have a small item advantage. So
Exactly, and especially on like a champ like Ornn, where you can continue to buy items in lane, if you can hold a freeze on your side or like trade heavily with him and always be able to like get the wave shoved in or whatever, he can't really trade super heavily on you, because if he does, you'll be able to get him in lethal range pretty quick because of how much damage Ornn does, especially with an item advantage. So he's pretty much always, as long as you play it correctly, going to either have to base on a bad timer, which means you'll be able to get a wave in and get a plate or whatever, that he's not going to be able to like trade back on, or he's going to like be forced to like proxy so that he's not stuck in a losing lane. But if he does that, he's also going to lose a wave that had already met in the middle of your lane. So yeah.
Okay, Cool. Cool. Here's this like Psycho Katarina play that happens pretty early in the game. She tries diving him, and then we get a nice shuffle. And then I think we try to sequence this into a Drake. If we see him here, it gets reset.
Okay, this is good, yeah.
Okay.
You have bot push, mid can't join the fight. I think this is pretty much the best thing you could have done, Akira, where you have TP still. You can roam down to make sure that like Drake is one, and then you can just TP back if you need to. I think that is perfectly fine.
Okay. Did we make a mistake here by not holding it? Like, cause like bot has a lot of pressure, Katarina's like 0 HP. Like, if
yeah,
we
I think
hold...
Ambessa should have played harder
okay.
up there. Cause Zen can't kill her. Your bot can move first. Katarina can't move, so I don't think he should ever be scared there.
Okay. Okay.
Because then we let it reset,
Yeah.
which means that we're losing all the damage that Xin does, which just means that we're not taking it as fast as we could.
Right. Right.
But yeah, once you realize that Drake was already like done, then yeah, just leaving, TPing back, and catching your wave is good.
Okay. Cool. Raph gets invaded again, so he's having a pretty hard time.
Yeah.
Because I think what was happening is like this Renekton will just like proxy, and then he'll just drop a shit ton of wards here in the top side jungle. Is there anything that we could do about it other than do the things that you talked about, where like I'm using TP better in order to protect our top side?
Pretty much, yeah. So
Okay.
like top especially is extremely like it's so important to like dictate waves and control the lane if you can.
Right.
If you can get control early, then it's really hard for the other person to get the right tempo to take control back. So in this case, because he was able to use his TP and then not get punished for it, and then proxy so that he can make sure that he doesn't ever have to worry about like his wave meeting in the middle or going into the turret or whatever, he can always control it, then he can always move first, because if you move, then you're losing out on a lot of like XP and gold. So the only other thing is like you could drop like a wave and then like walk in with Ambessa and try and help that way, but the only issue with that at this current stage right now is just that mid doesn't have prio and Ambessa didn't have 6 yet, I think.
Okay.
Because then it would be a level 6 Renekton and Xin versus a level 5 Ambessa, level 7 Ornn or whatever. And then I think you guys lose that 2v2, and I don't think Azir can get there faster than Katarina.
Okay.
So I think you would have to do it earlier, or just like on the next timer, basically.
Got it.
But it is kind of just the nature of not having like winning lanes,
Yeah.
which we just don't currently.
Okay.
But I do think that what he's doing right now is correct, where he needs to play into bot side, because that is where he has like the priority. Like top has prio, but our bot has prio, so we should be playing in their bot side, but it looks like Karma was just kind of far away.
Okay. So does Karma need to walk sooner after like this wave is basically like set?
Karma needs to work with Ambessa. Like Smolder shouldn't ever be dying, like even in a 1v2 versus Zaya and Nami, but we don't even see like Nami right now. Like she's fogging up anyway, So Karma needs to immediately fog up as well. But I don't know how close. I guess actually it doesn't really matter for Karma because she doesn't have an all R. But yeah, anytime jungler wants to invade, support needs to be with them basically, because if their jungler and support ever get there first, then the only reason why this works is because we had smite and we had already almost killed it. But if we didn't, then we would have to give it up, which means we're wasting a ton of time. Or even like a worst case scenario, like Mbessa gets killed because her team isn't there.
Okay.
That was what played mid. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing.
Okay, Carrie's like probably coming at this point that he's like super strong, and we've been doing a decent job like clearing into our bot side Drake. So I think we're like saying, hey, like we can just give the grubs and let's play really strong for this the second Drake.
I think that's fine. Yeah, I think grubs are good. Like if you can get them for free, or like you can't like trade Drake for them, or like they have priority bot, and then like you can take grubs as the constellation. But I think Drakes are always better than grubs.
True. Okay.
I think Mbessa is not respecting that very much. I think this has happened several times where we know that the jungle is topside, and we know that Renekton has first move and like permanent prio top. So Mbessa shouldn't be trying to contest these camps. Like she shouldn't be on Gromp, she should be on Wolves, if anything, and then trying to go into their bot side. Because honestly, at this point, like I think the best thing that Mbessa can do is try and use the bot side pressure to basically just have a split map. Because again, Drakes are always going to outperform grubs. We know that we don't have priority top side. Mid's conditions like aren't good on our side, but they're also not great on Katarina's side. She doesn't have R, she doesn't have flash, she doesn't have ignite, and she's below half. If she does try to join a fight against like Mbessa, Smolder, Karma, or whatever, like she's gonna just die. So I think like right now she just shouldn't have been in blue side at all on our side.
Okay.
Especially because we're going to be playing for Drakes. Like if we are playing on bot side ourselves, then we can just like set up like wards and stuff and just continue to establish pressure on their bot side because we can't do so on top side, but they can.
Okay. Okay. Carrie gets killed without having a flash. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's big. Or using R, huge.
True.
I guess she stayed. She overstayed, huh?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
TP. Yeah. What happened, bot? Okay, that was just a bit disrespectful. Yeah. So bot lane has had priority, which is good, but at this like current point, even if like the gold is the same, the items aren't. Like Xayah is way stronger than Smolder right now, just because she has a completed item and he doesn't.
Right.
So any 2v2 fight is losing, especially because Smolder is already half health. So no, like we shouldn't be trading at all here. We shouldn't be trying to trade. I don't know when Drake is up, but we definitely need to back. So even if we have to, okay, yeah, it's up pretty soon, but we need to back anyway. So it might be a situation where you have to like walk in after they've gotten initial like vision, but that's perfectly fine because we should back here, but Azir should also back like after like the next wave so that the timers are the same. And then that way you guys are coming in. Azir is super strong, has flash, has R. We have flash and R on Smolder. We have flash on Karma. We have R on Ambessa. Like you guys will be really strong for the fight, and you can walk into them. But yeah, whenever we're disrespecting bot and not just backing off to our turret and just basing and recognizing that we're going to lose the next wave, it's perfectly fine. It's better than dying and then not being able to get Drake.
Okay. The other thing is, like, they probably should have known this or just, like, remember that there's a ward here, but Cole's, like, resetting on a ward. So, like, this is, like, a good reason, or, like, a big part of, like, I think why they just end up getting canceled.
Yeah, and I mean, they probably would have looked for, like, a cancel anyway, just because they are stronger right now. They should recognize that.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just, like, lazy backing, kind of, for both Smolder and Karma, when we're going to lose the next wave regardless, because we can't contest it because they're stronger. It doesn't matter. Like, that's just how it is. Like, you just have to give a wave sometimes. But if we just leave and get our item and then come back with Ambessa and Azir, then you guys still can contest Drake. But at this point, like, you can't. Like, they should take Drake here, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And they do.
Yeah, so I think Cole is just probably saying that, like, hey, like, we're only going to lose the Drake play, so I've got a rum timer.
I think Karma didn't have to take, but I do think that it's a decent look. But yeah, unfortunately, Smolder does have to play pretty far back if we do that.
Yeah.
This TP is so big for Ninkara.
Yeah, it is good.
Well,
is ADC in call or no?
Yeah, Timothy's here. He might be on his phone or something. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. I assume you do if you play Smolder, but you can also save a lot of time on tower dives if you use Smolder's E like into the bot wall here.
Right.
Like,
right.
Yeah, that. Obviously you didn't need it here, but just like a small tip, if you didn't know for some reason, can save a ton of time. Like you can R and then E into the wall, and then like it saves a lot of time, which gives like Ornn time to come in if they did like decide to commit to the all in.
True.
But
Okay.
it was a good TP to cover. Yeah,
It's kind of it's sort of grief, right? Like, I mean, I'm just bluffing it.
I mean, they probably weren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like they should have known that you were one shot, which means they could have probably stayed. But the other thing too is you do get a big shield, which I don't think that they would have like taken into consideration. So they I wouldn't have blamed them if they would have just stayed and tried to kill you both. The only problem is the person that would be tanking would probably be Xin. And if he's on top of your turret, once you come in, you can just E him like and knock him up and then W, and like he would probably die, but I think you guys would both die as well, potentially.
Okay.
So I think they kind of pussied out when they didn't have to. But,
Got it.
But it was a good cover.
Cool.
And we're still able to get grubs, which is good.
I'm gonna check those solo kills real quick. This is the flip one. Okay, overstay punish on the 7, 1255. Support has like a high tendency to just like steal early kills. I mean, is there any advice into that except for just like don't press your buttons?
Yeah, pretty much just don't press your buttons. Like,
Okay.
so on that top one especially, With the positioning of Renekton, he's clearly not trying to get out because he knows he can't. He's trying to trade back a kill, which means that he's walking back into you guys. So all Karma has to do is like walk kind of behind him, like towards his own turret, so that if he does try to leave, she can take the kill if one of you guys can't.
Okay.
But obviously it's better for her to kind of just stand there menacingly and let you guys like take it. But yeah, that's what all support should do. Like they should cover possible exits that the enemy can go and then take the kill if they like absolutely need to. But if not, they can just stand there and then the guy should just die. Unless like you're also like one shot and you're about to die to the enemy and you're like, please just fucking kill this guy, and then the support can take it. But
Okay.
like in that situation, that wasn't the case.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Just like I never thought about like support cutting off a route there and just like being the last 1% and just in case.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so here is, I don't know if Timothy is like asking for someone to cover him. Carrot's on here on the bot side. Carrot takes up this lane here, and then he just gets like a nice, really good solo kill.
Yeah, I think that was good. I don't know where Katarina was or where she was like coming from. Maybe she had like just based or something, but either way, it was a really good. Oh, we just dropped a wave for it. I see.
Yeah.
No, I think that's good. It was like 3 minions, but we could cover a bot and then still get there in time. So yeah.
Cool.
And then yes, Zaya just doesn't have anything, so just dies for free.
Okay, this is like the big throw of the game that like people were talking about. So here's like, this is like something that we've talked about a lot before, but like Cole and Raph will overextend plays. Okay, in my opinion, I guess is a better way to say that. In my opinion, I think we see support and junglers overextend plays a lot, right? Because I think this is the same sequence that we got the Renekton kill, and then we're getting grubs, and then so now we're going for this invade here.
Yeah. I mean, you can like pause it right here.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you immediately you've already used your like round, your timer,
Okay.
like whatever you want to call it, your turn. You got the kill top, and then you got the grubs. That is your timer. That is your turn. Anything after that, unless you're ridiculously fed, is overstaying. Because, I mean, if you just look at the conditions of the map right now, your strongest member is bot. Your ADC just backed. Your top lane is under his turret, farming a wave. So there's 2 people on your side that can be in jungle right now, and that's it. Whereas on their side, Renekton just spawned, so he's like coming in. He can be there pretty quick because of the like new home guards and stuff. Zen can be there. Katarina can be there. So it's just bad. There's no point in doing that because we already got a lot out of the play. We got to kill bots. We got to kill top. We got grubs. Like we got a lot out of the sequence of events. So staying into their top side loses us a lot of tempo, because instead what we could have been doing is taking Scuttle and then into blue, clearing like bot, and then we have like we finish all of our camps and then we can look for stuff again. But looking for their camps when we've already used our turn and we still have our own camps up and stuff is definitely overstaying.
Okay. And then it gets worse. So the call is like play out, play out, play out. I'm using Or and R to buy some space, which is maybe not great. And then Rafsy tunes out really low, so then he goes back in. And then he dies here. I think Timothy dies here afterwards. And then everyone is just a teeny tiny bit tilted.
Yeah. Go back to the start of that fight again real quick.
Here's the blast cone. The crab contests. And then the Ornar.
Okay, pause right here. So, I mean, yeah, like I understand what Raph is like thinking here, where Zen is really low. But we should know that Zen has flash. We can see that Renekton is there before Ornn, unless he's like tunneled, which he probably is, but that's also an individual mistake, not like a team mistake. We should have just hit that cone and then gotten out. But yeah, staying for the kill, and this is why and Bach agrees too, so this is not just me talking about my ass or anything. I think if you're playing Mbessa, even if it's not going top, banning Renekton is just so nice, because he just shuts Mbessa down as a champion because of his W. Because his, obviously it's a point and click stun, it breaks shields. So in this case, right here, if you play it, you'll see, Renekton just walks up. Katarina has R and Ignite and everything, right? So Renekton can just walk up. He can Q or he can auto or whatever. And then as soon as his W is up with 50 Fury, then Mbessa just gets one shot. It doesn't matter if Karma shields him because it breaks shields. So there's no saving him. There's no protecting him. He'll just get one shot. So even if he traded 1-for-1 here, it's still not worth, because what's the point? We kill their jungler, and then our jungler also dies. There's no reason that we should ever be 1-for-1ing, because we just made a big play and got a lot of resources from it.
Right.
So him walking in here just doesn't make sense, because again, he can't get out. Karma can't protect him because Renekton exists as a champion. And Katarina, even though she is 0 and 2, she has R, she has Ignite, she has enough gold that she's still going to do a lot of damage to a level 9 Mbessa, who is also getting shield broken and stunned and beaten up by a Renekton with Black Cleaver. So yeah, we just shouldn't have stayed here at all. And then I see why Smolder is moving up, because we're still playing, but honestly, Smolder here, your entire job, your entire existence is get stacks so that you can carry late game. So this fight, even if it's won, it's such a coin flip that you just staying mid and pushing out that wave, so that you're denying them that wave, and you're also getting your stacks. Playing for yourself, playing selfishly is so much more beneficial, when our call for this fight should have been we're not fighting in the first place.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts about one of the things that we struggle with as a team across multiple players is making a call and then we counter call, or we make the call and then we don't follow through on this? Do you have any maybe some general thoughts or notes about how teams can navigate this better?
The easiest way to navigate that is designate a leader, which it doesn't have to be before the game starts. It doesn't even have to be after champ select. Whoever is carrying, whoever's strongest, which in this case it's Carrot and he's bot.
Yeah.
But on average, that is the person that should be calling. If that person makes a call, that's what we listen to. Because they're the ones with the gold, they're the ones that are carrying and can carry the fight. Because at this current moment, the rest of you, you're down gold overall as a team. You have a lot of gold on Azir, but otherwise everybody is behind or even. So there's one, usually not really any world ever that we're fighting without Azir anyway. And two, in this case, because it's a coin flip, the call should be erring on the side of caution. Once you guys I don't know how long you've been playing together or anything, but once you guys are comfortable as a team and confident and playing well, you can make riskier decisions, or decisions that you're confident are going to work. But whenever you're in this position where you are not ahead, because in this case you should think of yourselves as not ahead because your player that is ahead is on the other side of the map. you shouldn't be trying to fight realistically. So in this case, because Carrot isn't there, usually I would say just err on the side of caution, because if one person is saying like calling it off and then somebody says no, I'm going in, whoever was saying that like to call it off is already backing off. They're not walking in for the fight. In their mind, they're done. The fight is over. So they're not going to play and react to you just pulling the trigger and going in the same way as if they were all on the same page. So that's like the main two things I would say. Just have your like carry be the leader and the main shot caller. They don't have to be the one that's saying like, hey, like let's play for this objective. Like, you know, the regular macro stuff that goes on like without fighting is fine. But whenever like a fight is going to start soon, or you guys do want to look for a fight, that is the person that should be calling if it is a fight they want to take or not. And then otherwise, just listen to a call to back off if that's what you're saying. Because if you're not on the same page, whoever wants to go in is going to die, and whoever doesn't want to go in isn't going to be any help, because they're either going to go in too late and they're also going to die, or they're not going to go in at all, which is probably the better choice, but it is going to tilt people.
Okay. Zin is running to Raph's bot side. And then I don't think we try to do too much as a team until next Drake spawns.
I think that's fine. I think with that fight, there isn't really much you can do. Renekton gets a lot stronger than Ornn because of that. And then the assignments are kind of screwy, because what should have happened is Smolder stays mid whenever they're trying to chase you guys in top. In a perfect world, you guys just leave, and then so nobody dies. Smolder gets to take the wave for free mid and push it in, and then base. And then Azir can also do the same in base, and then you guys can switch back if you need to. Or you can like keep lane assignments or whatever, but with the way that it worked out, you were forced to keep the lane assignments basically, because Smolder died. But if he's not dead, then you can decide who wants to go where, and then you guys can make decisions based on that. But basically you shouldn't, especially after that fight though, you shouldn't really be wanting to play on any side that isn't Azir's side.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure what the comms are, but Raph's looking to start Rift Heralds.
I'm not sure what the comms are, but this is a terrible play.
Okay.
The reason why is because, again, like, Azir is who we are playing for. If Azir's mid, it's a different story. But again, Azir can't be mid because we died on Smolder, so we are forced to keep the lane assignments that we had, which means Azir has to stay bot. Okay. If Smolder doesn't die and pushes the wave, and then they can, you know, move back, if Azir is mid on this timer, sure, you guys can play it if you want. But the only other issue is Karma needs to stay around, because you do need numbers advantage. But also Ornn is backing, so realistically at this point I think his blue is up. Yeah, so really he should be taking blue, and then once Ornn is back, then like maybe you can look for something. But especially on this timer where Renekton has TP and Ornn doesn't, even though Renekton is leaving right now, he can be there before Ornn is if the enemy team decides to like go for you guys right now. I don't know how this Herald ends up going. I don't know if you guys actually get it or not, but you shouldn't really in any world, because your big brother Azir is bot lane.
Got it.
then you shouldn't be fighting with him or without him. Yeah, see, Renekton TP's in, and then they have first move mid because they have a stronger team mid, and so I guess that they just take Herald here, and then it's like pretty sucky for us. But even if they didn't take Herald, we were forced to reset off of it, which ruins our tempo because we just wasted however long trying to hit Herald, and then we just have to get like pushed off of it.
Okay. Okay, so here's this Drake fight. I TP pretty early, and then we try to play for Banana Brush. Shinzao walks up, and then we all in him. Kara gets a 2-man shuffle on their divers, and then our front line gets cooked. Zaya flashes forward. Our trade. Azir's like going hard here, and then we extend back into Banana Bush, and then I think they just blast cone and then vision diff us.
Yeah. Go back to the beginning of that one, yeah. Okay, so pause real quick.
Yep.
So the thing that you guys should be doing that Bach taught us is the wave vision, wave play.
Yeah, I love that.
So here, Smolder's the only one on wave, which means you guys don't have priority mid.
Okay.
Whereas if all 4 of you were here with Orange TPing in, Renekton can't walk up like this, Zaya can't walk up like this, you guys push in the wave, you can walk in, get your vision, you have some already, but you can get like the, like you can hold that space. And then if they don't walk into you, then you can clear another wave and then go back in, same thing. But if they do walk into you, you have the setup, so they should just lose because they're walking into you. But the only reason why I think this doesn't work out better is because the scuttle's up, which, again, if we were all on mid and we push that first, we have the timer to go take scuttle, which gives us even more vision control. But we're just kind of like I see we're trying to hit like Nami right now, which won't really do much because we don't have anybody that's going to go one-shot her. And she's just going to be playing back with her R and buffing up Zaya anyway. So it's not really getting us that much of an advantage. So now they push mid, and then we have control, but Zin's behind us. And so, yeah, you can go on Zin, but it's Zin. He's not going to get one shot. He has R, which is going to buy a lot of space because it's going to push out a lot of people. And unless you're standing on top of him, Azir and Smolder aren't going to do any damage to him. And then Katarina's coming behind him as well. And now we're kind of in a shitty position because even if we kill Zin, then what happened is going to happen, where you're not going to kill him fast enough. So they're still going to be able to walk into you and then start hitting you. And that's why you lost the fight. But if you were all on mid-wave and had control of that, and then you walk in and you take Scuttle, you would have caught Zen there because he was on Scuttle, but you would have been faster than them because they didn't have mid-control because you pushed it first.
Yeah.
Because the ADC, like, that's what they're focusing on is like hitting that wave, and so Zaya's not going to be there, and she's the one that's scary. So I think that's the biggest reason why you guys lost this fight, but you can play it and I can look at other issues. I think the shuffle's good because you have to cancel Katarina.
Mm-hmm.
The only, like, unfortunate thing is she was still able to do quite a bit of damage to Smolder.
Okay.
So it's like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just tough. Like, I don't know if we could have shielded earlier on Karma. Like, shielded Smolder from Karma, I mean. But I think I think the biggest issue was probably just, oh yeah, it was just Smolder's positioning actually. So there, it's like the issue with Smolder positioning is your whole team is to your right, their whole team is to your left. So you're getting pinched. So Zen is able to jump to you and start hitting you, and then Katarina is able to jump onto you and start hitting. So that's why Smolder gets chunked so hard. And then once Smolder's chunked that hard, then he's kind of screwed from the fight. So I think you guys have to again like walk in together, and then Smolder needs to be behind you guys. But with your current positioning, like Mbessa's to the right, Orn's on top, and then your 2 carries are like in the middle between you guys and their team, which is okay for Azir because Azir has R, but it's not okay for Smolder.
Okay.
So I think honestly, it might have been good to like literally just panic summoner spell, use flash and what's it called? Barrier, like immediately once Zen jumped on you, like over to the right where your team is. Because that way Zen can't keep hitting you, and then when Katarina jumps on top of you guys, she's not hitting you. And then I think it's a little bit more playable. But I also think, like, I think that the Ornn R also shouldn't be used just on Zen at the beginning of this fight.
Okay.
Because I think, like, because again, like I said at the beginning, like, your guys aren't going to one-shot Zen. Like, unless he just doesn't press buttons. Like, if he just goes AFK, you can, but he's not going to. So you're not going to one-shot him because your champions aren't one-shot champions. So you're not going to one-shot him, which means even if you get on top of him, which you can with R from Ornn, but even if you get on top of him, you're not going to kill him. So just pushing him back is better because you guys can walk to him and keep walking at him, and then position yourself in a better way, because at some point he's going to be forced to walk into you, or you guys can push him out towards the bot side, like into that like tri-brush, and then he can like walk around or whatever. But either way, it allows you guys to not get like railed this hard, because if we're using Mbessa R and Ornn R and we're not killing Zen, then we lose all of our engage, which means Zaya can hit for free, and we lose like all of our CC, which means they can hit for free. So I think that is another issue, was we just used too many Rs for no reason on Zen because we aren't going to kill him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think at this point, I think walking up into the brush was troll. I know that Azir's really strong,
sure.
but you're also just really low. And Zen's still behind us, so that is the biggest issue. If Zen wasn't behind you guys, which we know that he is, then you can play it a little bit safer, but they've got control of the bush, which means they've got like vision control of the bush. And I think that that's what kills you, because then they can just kind of use that dark space to like leave and then come back in when you can't really like react to it. And you guys all also use like flash and R's and everything, so you don't have anything, but they still have ways to get on top of you. So I think it would probably be better for the 3 of you to just walk out bot.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, no, I think I needed to click on Smolder there for sure.
Yep. I think low key, like
Right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
You probably just felt so strong in this moment, right?
Yeah, well, to be honest, the reason I kept going is because my lethal tempo was about to fall off, and I wanted to hit Nami, so my lethal tempo stayed stacked.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Because I thought I'd one shot her. Yeah, and then as soon as I saw the Renekton blast cone, I realized I'd entered the fight.
The other thing too, going back into what I was saying at the beginning of like vision control, is if we have control of vision, we can go break those blast cones before the fight even starts, which limits their flank potential by a lot. Because at that point, the only way that they can get on top of you is if they walk at you, and that's fine for you guys. But if they have a Xin or Renekton that can blast cone on top of your team or behind your team onto Smolder or a Zero or whatever, then that's where you can easily get killed. But if you had the vision control all around the pit before the fight started, then they wouldn't have that opportunity. That's a huge thing. Like anytime you're like contesting objectives, if you can be there first, like hitting the blast cone above Baron or around Dragon or whatever, to prevent them from just jumping in for free. Like that is what leads to so many steals and deaths and all that kind of stuff. So.
All right, Timothy wants me to voice a point for him. He says that Cole actually bears a lot of responsibility here. He's got 2 wards or 3 wards that he's sitting on in this fight, and Timothy's point was that like, hey, like Cole should just drop a shit ton of wards over the wall so that, you know, if we do chase or even if we don't chase, we can just see if they're retreating, if they're not retreating, and that'll give us a lot more combat space.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think like it's something that as like the support they should definitely be aware of, even like during the fight. But again, it still goes back to the same thing of like that vision should have been there before the fight even started, which is on everybody too. Like before the fight starts, that is when the support needs to be like placing vision. So that's why you go wave and then vision and then wave and then the objective, because then at that point, if you're all on the wave, they all also have to be on the wave, or you can just push it in for free. So if they're not all on the wave, you can push in for free, you can go to get the wards and then go back and do the same thing. But either way, you have the setup, like because you were there first. But if you're not setting up wards all around the pits before the fight starts, then even if you get there first, you're still at a disadvantage because there are so many dark spaces that you don't have control over. You don't have control over the banana brush, you don't have control over the tri-bush below you, and then you don't have anything over that wall. But if the support is coming in and he has his whole team to back him up, then there should be wards in the banana brush, in that bush, like in the middle there, just like over the wall, right above like Gromp, and the one in the tri-brush, so that you have all the bushes covered, you have all the vision of when they walk in and like where they're coming in from, and then if there are no surprises, then you shouldn't lose if they're walking into you.
Okay. This is like more of like a, not like specific to this game, but just like about competitive and like improving as a team in general. So we've talked about vision, like wave play together as a lot as a team. Just like, you know, something that we should be thinking about, something that we should be working on. But then we don't consistently implement it in game. Like, is there a good way that we should try to practice this? Like, is this something we should do in Flex? Is this something we should do like in bot games? Is this something we should do in just scrims? Like, we just need to talk about it beforehand? Or
I think Flex is pretty good,
okay,
because the biggest thing about it is keeping each other accountable, because the support like should know what they need to be doing and like when they need to get wards and everything, but it's really hard whenever they don't have their team to back them up. So I don't know how much of a voice your support has, but if they aren't comfortable like commanding you guys to go with him to set up vision, then all of you guys should anyway though be in the habit of wave objective, because like the vision around objectives is even more important than vision throughout the game just regularly. Like all that kind of stuff is fine, and I'm not going to be great on that specifically, but around objectives it's very standard and very easy to follow across all the roles because you have the exact same job. You group together and push wave, whichever wave you're going to be coming from. It's almost always going to be mid. And then you can move as 5 into the jungle, because if somebody's there, then you're already as 5. You can fight. It's fine. If nobody's there, then you're as 5 moving through, and you can place all of your wards together, and then go back to the wave and push it in, and then you can play the objective. So all of you should have that mindset. You should have that like something you're thinking about in game around every objective, and then all of you should be talking about it before the objective. Like remember guys, wave, vision, wave, objective, like however you want to say it, but it's always going to follow that order, because that is going to set you up for success like 100% of the time. If you don't do that, then you get into positions like this where you don't have the vision, so even though you had the setup, the vision cucks you guys in the end. Or if you don't have the setup, but you do have the vision, then you have like avenues where you can go in because you know where they are. So vision is way more important than setup, but if you can get vision and setup, then you shouldn't ever lose an objective unless you guys just play it really fucking bad, or you're like 3,000 gold behind in every lane. So as a team, that is something that can be done like really easily to get into like a habit of it together, just by like doing flex or scrims or whatever, because it can follow the exact same like formula in flex as well, because objectives are always going to spawn the exact same in every game. So even if you're like stomping them in flex and you don't actually need to do it, just do it anyway, because like you should be flexing to practice, as like as much fun as it might be, and you can use that practice to all continue to try and be mindful of what you need to be doing around vision. Keep each other accountable, because everybody should be talking about it. If somebody's not talking about it, then all of you are at fault, not a single person, because somebody should remember and somebody should be talking about it.
Okay. Like Carrick or like Timothy could like say otherwise, but I think like what kind of happens in these games is that like I'll talk about wave vision, wave play, but because like I'm playing top lane on weak side, I'm usually like info diffed, and so like one time I was making a call, I counter called Carrot, and then that put us in bad place because I wasn't paying attention to the information. So then we get into this kind of like stalemate where I have the principle in mind about like what we should do, but then I can't see everything that they see, and so then we just like end up nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody is going to have like 100% knowledge like at any given point of the game or whatever, which is perfectly fine. Like that's why it's a team game. Like everybody's holding up some end, but like specifically around vision, it should be very easy for everyone to follow, because it's always going to be, like I said, waves and then vision and then waves and then objective, and then for like when you guys are calling stuff, like I was saying earlier, it should be your like primary carry, but if it's not your primary carry, usually it defaults to like jungle support, because they help dictate the macro a lot more, because junglers know like when they have like smite timers, like blah blah blah, like whatever stuff that laners shouldn't have to be thinking about, so they should be calling for stuff, and the support should be vocal about vision especially. But if for some reason the support is not saying something, that's why everybody should be mindful of the vision before objectives at the very least.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this one we just kind of rushed, right? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't
That's
really,
what it seemed
and
like, yeah.
we didn't really talk about what wave we wanted to play on.
Yep.
We inted Smolder on Prio for the wave we maybe should have played on, and then just like took the snap engage on Zen, which it was kind of good in terms of us being coordinated, but in terms of like overall how we want to be fighting, especially at this stage in the game where like we make Omega outscale, like, you know, it was just a very like narrow angle to look for. But yeah, I think Havoc's point that it's like our fault here is way more in our.
He's not in here just yet. I gotta bring him back.
Oh, gotcha.
He DC'd. Okay, Kara was just saying that like we're not talking about this. We saw like an opportunity to go on Zin, and then Kara can pick it up.
Yeah, I was just saying we weren't really talking about what wave we wanted to play on, and just sort of rush the Zen engage.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, definitely the point that like the fault here was more in our setup than anything else, and like just like taking it slower.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean objectives, like only time they should be like there are instances where like it's good to rush them, but that's usually when like you've already like killed people, or you know that they're on like one side and they can't get to you before like you can get it or whatever. But anytime an objective is like on even footing where you know they're also all around the objective side or whatever, it shouldn't ever be rushed, because then you're not going to have like the proper setup. Like if you play it the same way like every time, as long as you're not super far behind them and can't gain control of the wave by all of you being on it first, then it should be favorable for you every single time. And like all kinds of teams are bad at this. Like even, you know, in AML or APL, like Master 600, Master 1K, like whatever. That's all like all teams struggle with this sometimes. But if you can have 5 people on mid lane first, you will have the priority first. Like it doesn't matter if like again, unless they are like ridiculously fed, like they've got somebody on their team that is like 5k up on you guys for some reason. If you have 5 people first and they only have like 3 or whatever, or 4 or like whatever, you're still in a favorable position. You have the priority, so you can gain control of the wave first, and then you can move for vision first. So it's about like there are other things that go into it, obviously, because you do have to consider if you're dropping like side waves, or if you have time to like push a side wave and then TP or whatever. But like the TP from Akira in this fight, for example, was fine because it was on a decent enough timer. Like it could have been maybe a little bit earlier. But the rest of you guys should have been on midwave, because if the 4 of you are on midwave and Akira's TPing in when the 4 of you are on midwave, you're still fine. But if like somebody's TPing in late, or if you're not setting up like the waves how you want them, or you're trying to like greed for one wave before like basing and then going in or whatever, like you're griefing your whole team. So you need to be mindful of when the Drake is spawning. So you have to like recognize if you're going to be able to finish your item first, if you can push a wave first, if you have like your items, you need to base for it first, like whatever. Sometimes it means that you're going to have to like give something up. If it's like an item spike or something, then like you should be communicating that and telling your team to just like wait. And then if that's the case, that's fine. It means that you're not playing on the current wave, you'll play on the next one, which is okay. As long as you are all there first as 5, like it's fine. But that's another thing that like Bach has tried to drill into us, is like communicating what wave you're playing on. If your wave's already met and like they're kind of like there and they're like hitting it or whatever, and like 5 people haven't been there yet, obviously that's not the wave you're playing on. So you're like, okay, this wave that's coming out of base right now, that's the wave we're playing on. So everybody knows once that wave is making it into the middle of mid lane, all 5 people need to be there or somebody's griefing.
Okay, cool. Dude, this was a lot of really good information, man. Like, I think, like, focusing on the way Vision Way play, focusing on all this individual stuff, like talking about how we can practice this stuff, and make, like, this is like one thing I never heard of, or like this is like super new to me, which I thought was really cool. Just like having the leader be whoever's like the strongest on the team. I think that makes a lot of sense. So that was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it makes it, like I said, it's an easy way to decide like whose calls you guys should be listening to, because we had that problem too. I don't think it was for this team. I think it was like another team I played on or something. But we had the problem too of like having people not be on the same page and like calling for different things. And the easiest way to do that is just like designate one person. And sometimes you can do that like in draft. Like if you have like a really good jungle matchup or something, and you have like you have like a really good draft, and you have a jungler that has high tempo and they can be moving around a lot and doing a lot, and then you also somehow have priority in both bot and mid or top and mid, then your jungler from the get-go can be the main shot caller, because they can like ask their mid and top or mid and bot for help on certain timers, and if you have the like facilities to do so, then that works. But that's not always going to happen, so the easiest way to do it is just designate it once it becomes like important. And usually by like the start of when objectives are spawning, you have somebody that can fulfill that role, because it's either your like laner or ADC or jungler or whatever that has already gotten the kill, or it's like whoever has priority and knows for a fact that they're stronger than their like other laner or whatever. But that's who needs to be making those calls, because like if the person with the most gold, or like the person that's like currently the strongest or whatever, whenever you guys are deciding on calls, if they are not like 100% in on a call, then you're going to lose that call like every time.
Right.
But if they're the one making the call, and then everybody else understands that that means that they need to follow it, then if everybody has that understanding going into the game, even if the call ends up being bad, like especially in like scrims and flex and stuff, like you just need to get into the habit of doing that, because you need to trust your team to make like good calls. The only thing I'll say is like if they're like getting a little too hype and they're like wanting to go for something that everybody knows they shouldn't be doing, then everybody should be saying no. Like there shouldn't be any like, you know, maybe, or like nobody saying nothing or like whatever. Like if everybody knows that it's not good, everybody say no, and then that person needs to know that they need to back off because they know they don't have any backup. But usually that won't happen.
Okay, cool. Do you mind if we end there? Actually, I think there's like a lot of game notes that we might have to work on implementing that might take some time. But also, dude, Tyler 1 is like scrimming right now. If you guys wanted to run over and watch.
Yeah, we can end there if you guys want. That's chill.
Okay, Timothy or Carrot, was there actually something that you want to look at in this game before, you know, while we still have Havoc?
No, I think he covered a lot of the really good stuff. I think the most important stuff in this game was just like, yeah, fight setup and selection and like early jungle stuff and yeah.
We also went over like the important fights, the Grubs, Herald, and this Drake.
Yeah.
After that, I think we just kind of lose the game after that.
Yeah.
There's some like minor stuff that happens, like, you know, we get another unlucky base on vision and stuff, but it's like, you know,
same principles.
We hit the major stuff, and it's same principles too.
Yeah. One, like, the only other thing I'll say that I would like recommend you guys do is like, I don't know how often you play together, like outside of like officials or whatever, like scrims or flex or whatever. But, like when you are like, you know, think about these things and like talk about these things, and then, you know, if possible, you guys should also be like, you know, meeting up early before like games and everything, and talking about this stuff. And like especially like one big thing for us is we always during like champ selects, like in lobby and stuff, and like when we're loading into game, or like whenever we're just like running to lane or whatever, there's like so much downtime, and there like you can also talk about like who has priority, what objectives we're going to be trying to play for first, and that sort of thing, and then can just like do general reminders to each other.
Okay. Just really use that downtime. Okay.
Well, thank you so much, Havoc. A lot of good notes.
Nah, yeah, this was so cool, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I really appreciate it, bro.
Anytime, happy to help.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, man. That was like really helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
This was like one of our first
glad.
VOD reviews. I think that this is like maybe like the second VOD review we've ever had as a team in the last like 3 months that we've been together. So this is like super good.
Yeah, I think we don't like VOD review or scrim or anything for my team. So yeah, other than like Tuesdays and Thursdays, like I said, usually if you guys like need some help, I'm happy to help if I don't have something else going on.
My go. All right, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Havoc. Let me write that down. All right, Timothy and Carrot, you guys want to go stalk the scrim? I'm actually super curious. What you have? Like, are you doing anything right now? Okay. I'll scout it.
I might have to go do something else, but I'll probably like pull up Tyler's stream or something like that.
Sounds good, dude. All right, I'll scout it for us.
Resets, I think after this wave is the time if we need anything.
I'm trying to
No,
play
I don't.
Seekers.
I just reset.
I'll sit here for one more wave, but then I'm taking my back.
Okay, I think we just watched the stream because like no one's actually streaming anything in that call.
Okay.
Yo, this is crazy, no?
Yeah, Tyler won.
Tyler won and Stacey